And this morning I got an email that was like, you don't have any callbacks. And I was like, I know. So that's how I'm doing. Hello, my name is Caroline. Welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm a second-year law student at Harvard Law School, and I make videos about law school, the law school process. And today's video is going to be about the law firm job search. I recently completed my law firm job search for a summer associate position for next summer, and I thought I would come and sit down and share how that went, as well as kind of just give a general idea of what that process is like. Because, and just a general disclaimer, your law school's Office of Career Planning would definitely know way more about this than I do. But for those of you who are, thinking of applying to law school, who have just started in, who don't have access to all the resources at a law school yet, it may be helpful to understand what the hiring process looks like if you're thinking big law, if you're thinking law firms, just because it can be a little bit scary coming into law school and not knowing how you're gonna find a job afterwards. So I thought I would share my experience, because it is hard navigating this process as a first-generation student. There's this really great TikTok.
Hey y'all, it is day 4 of Law Firm Rush. My Padfolio is from Yale, so that when I put it down, my interviewer can also comment on it if they also went there. My resume is from the paper source because I would not be caught dead with resumes on normal printer paper. My ring is from my fiance, but I'm actually going to take it off because I don't want the interviewers thinking that I'm going to get pregnant right away and go on maternity leave. Watch is from Audemars Piguet. Bracelet is Cartier. Earrings are Van Cleef & Arpels because my dad told me that we want to subtly, not subtly signal that we're already rich.
It's like Rush. It's like Sorority Rush, but for law firms. So most law schools have a process called on-campus interviews, which is when law firms come interview students for a week. You do kind of a week of like rapid speed dating interviews. They're about 20 to 30 minutes. You meet with a bunch of employers, and then that's like the first week of interviews. That's the on-campus interview part. I vlogged my on-campus interview experience. Mine was back in August. I have 2 videos up already of a daily vlog. I have the rest of the vlog content that I filmed that week coming at the end of this video after I did a little bit of an update. So there's more content there. But if you wanted to see kind of what a day-to-day look at an on-campus interview week is like, you can check out those vlogs. But mine was remote. Most of them are in person. I don't know what it'll look like next year, but mine was remote. So basically, how law firm hiring works is the summer after your first year and before your second year is when on-campus interviews happen, and you're interviewing for a position for this next summer, so the summer after your second year. And usually what firm you work for the next summer is the firm you return to after graduation. There is room to move around. So if you realize that you didn't like that firm, you didn't like that city, you didn't like that practice area, there is room for post-grads to switch to a different firm. I know this year certain firms are offering incentives for 3Ls to switch to their firms. It just depends on hiring needs. So it's not like the end all be all, but generally most people approach this process as the firm that they pick for their second year summer is the firm that they're going to go with after graduation. And so most of this hiring happens before your second year starts. It's a little bit stressful, but I'm glad it happens in the summer because it gives you time to really focus on this process. So how it works is your school will have a list of firms coming to your school. Depending on where your school is located, what rank your school is, different firms will come. So I know some of the more like regional based schools will have a lot of local regional law firms coming. Harvard, for example, had firms from all over the country. My friend from UCLA said that they didn't have as many New York firms at their EIP. And also, if a law firm isn't going to your school for on-campus interviews, all these law firms on their website will have an opportunity for you to submit your resume directly. So it really depends on the school, but your school will have a list of law firms that are coming and interviewing their students, and you basically rank, what firms you want, and then your school will have some algorithm to sort you into these interviews, and you do rapid 20-minute screeners, and it's very much like, tell me about yourself, why this law firm, what kind of law you're interested in, why law school. It's just for the employer to get a vibe of what you're like, to take a look at your resume, and then they decide if they want to offer you a callback. A callback is the extended kind of 2-hour, 3-hour interview where you're meeting with more people over a longer period of time, and these are usually the more intensive questions. It'll be more like behavioral questions. Tell me about a time that you demonstrated leadership. Tell me about research and writing you did. Some advice that some upper years gave me is that in that week of screeners, if you're doing 20, 25, 30 interviews, at least one is going to go wrong. And that's okay. Like, you're not gonna have 25 to 30 great interviews. I had a couple that went wrong. I had a couple that I thought went badly, and then turns out I did well. One of my callbacks was for an interview where I literally texted my friend after. I was like, oh my god, I messed it up, and then they gave me a call back. So sometimes you just don't know, but you will have a few bad ones. I had one where it was for a position in a London office, and a lot of London offices will hire US associates for capital markets, and usually they say this on the blurb when you bid, and it would be like capital markets position. This firm did not say capital markets, and it's a firm known for litigation, so I thought that, you know, I could bid it and like do litigation. They didn't specify they were capital markets only. I go into the interview and I'm like talking about what I'm interested in, and he's like, the interviewer is like, you know, it's a little bit weird that you say that you're interested in litigation, because I've had 2 other people tell me the same thing today, but like, this is a capital markets position. I don't even know what capital markets are. I don't even know what those are. I then have to spend the rest of this interview like pretending to be interested and engaged, and it was not a good interview. So I had some where I just really did not vibe with the interviewer. And then I had some where I was like, based on this interview, I really do not want to work at this law firm. You'll have those moments. Not all of them will go well, but then you'll have moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I love this law firm. I love these people. Like, this seems like a great place. So interview week will be what interview week will be like. It is what it is. You'll get your callbacks. Most of these interviews are 20 to 30 minutes long, and the part where they ask you questions is only 10 minutes or 15 minutes. They will almost always leave time for you to then ask them questions. So it's also as much as of a process of them interviewing you, it's also you interviewing all these law firms. Ask them about, you know, what kind of projects they work on, how much responsibility they give associates. I networked a ton before going to these interviews. I can talk more about networking and stuff if you want me to. You're generally supposed to like reach out to associates at these firms before you interview with them and ask them questions, so you know what you're talking about going into these law firms. Not for like all 20 law firms you interview with. I only did it for, I think, maybe like 8 to 10. You just pick the firms you're really interested in and you network with them to show that like in the interview you have an interest in the firm, they like that. So the callbacks happen about a week to 3 weeks after your screeners. You'll start getting callbacks during that week of interviews, and sometimes people hear back from callbacks a little bit later. So I got all 4 of my callback offers during my initial interview week, and I committed all 4 of my callbacks the week after. Mine were also all remote. And then after that, usually hear back from law firms about an offer between 1 to 3 to 4 weeks. So I did 1 week of interviews of online, you know, remote interviews, 1 week of callback interviews, and in the 2 weeks after my callback interviews, I was rejected from 3 of them. So like, fully transparent, I did 26 screeners, 4 callbacks, 3 rejections, you know, about 3 weeks in. And then I started at Harvard Law School. I started my semester, and I was coming into the semester with no job offer, which I just want to say is not the norm. I think that most people who do big law go into second year with a job offer, which is, you know, why a lot of people are way less stressed in second year, because they have that big law job offer. I came in without one. I came in under the impression that I had kind of messed up my on-campus interview process, and that's okay. I don't want to say that it's the best feeling in the world, but I do want to say that if you don't necessarily get an offer from your on-campus interview process, it's not the end of the world. Your school will have resources to then apply for jobs otherwise. So I know Harvard had a resume bug program where I could submit my resume to a bunch of other firms, and if they were still looking for associates, they would then reach out to me. And so through this, I got 2 more callbacks, and I ended up getting an offer from this process too. I ended up hearing back from one of the firms I did my callback with. It took them a little bit longer. I think I waited 4 weeks before I heard back from them. I ended up taking the offer that I got from the OCI process, so my interview callback process, but I was able to get another offer outside of this process when I thought that I wasn't getting an offer originally, if that makes sense. So there are a lot of resources out there that if this process doesn't work out, you'll be fine. But this is just generally how the hiring happens. Just to speak about my interview process a little bit more, I came into OCI knowing that I wanted to go litigation. And so I said that in my interviews, and from what I understand, the corporate hiring market right now is very hot. If you wanted to go corporate, I think it would have been a lot easier to get a callback and to get an offer, is what my career counselor has told me. Oh, and I know that a lot of firms are still looking for corporate associates. So I know that the corporate market is very hot. So I've definitely kind of courted myself a little bit by saying that I wanted to do litigation, but a lot of people wanted to do litigation. So that wasn't like the only reason. I kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning. So don't like let this scare you. If you want to do litigation, that's fine. A ton of litigation jobs out there, but just know that right now the corporate market is super hot, so they're really looking for corporate associates. I not only narrowed myself in litigation, I then narrowed myself even more in litigation because I really wanted to do international litigation, international arbitration, a lot of white collar work, FCPA work, and that's even more niche. And so not every firm does that, or not every firm is known for doing that. And so then I didn't bid on certain firms. And then I also wanted a smaller class size, and so if I'm going for a firm with a smaller class size, there are just less offers to go around. I'm sure if I had gone for a law firm that takes like 100, 200, 300 people in their summer class, I just really expanded my kind of interview process, I probably would have done a little bit better. But I went in with a very specific thing in mind, and I committed to that, and it worked out. But don't let my whole 28 screeners to 4 callbacks to just 1 offer from OCI scare you. I went very niche. If you're going more general, if you're going corporate, if you're going for a larger firm, you'll probably fare better. And you don't have to know what you want to do going in. A lot of my friends don't even know if they want to do litigation corporate. A lot of these summer programs will let you try things out of their summer. So one of the offers I got, they do a rotation system. So you spend half your summer in corporate and half your summer in litigation. And that's really great if you don't know what you want to do. Another will let you explore different aspects of corporate. So don't feel like you have to go into this process knowing exactly what firm, exactly what thing you want to do. It is as much a learning process for you as it is for them, and they understand that. I think you should have an answer prepared if they ask you what kind of law you're interested in, but it doesn't have to be super specific. So that's the law firm hiring process. It's a week of on-campus interviews, then callbacks, then offers, and then the fun part comes after offers. So if you're lucky enough to have more than 1 offer, or even if you have 1 offer, take advantage of that. At that point, it's the firm's turn to woo you. So in a normal year, non-COVID, firms will then fly you out for a second look. So you can go visit the office. You can ask to speak with anyone. So I asked to speak with someone, an associate who was homegrown, who had gone straight to that firm out of law school and spent a couple years there. I asked to speak with female partners. I asked to speak with a minority associate just to see how she felt in the firm. At that point, you can ask to speak with anyone, so you can really gauge what the differences between these firms are if you have more than 1 offer. And then you can visit the office, do a tour, spend a night in the city you're going to be living in. I did visit New York just to see what my 2 firms were like. I've never even set foot in a law firm before. I just felt like it was important for me to at least go to a law firm before signing my life away to a law firm. I loved New York. Oh, another thing was I've never lived in New York, and I'm choosing New York as my destination. So I wanted to go and make sure that I did not hate the city before I signed my life away. And I did not hate the city. I love New York. I will include some small clips of New York. I don't really vlog. But yeah, so that's my OCI process. I have officially committed to a firm in New York that does litigation, and that'll let me do litigation. And I did get this firm from OCI, from my on-campus interviews. I'm not going to say it's not a stressful time of the year. I was incredibly stressed. If you watched my life update video, you know that I did not have a good time when I was doing interview week, but it's worked out. So in hindsight, it all worked out. Something else that if you are a diverse candidate, and they define the term fairly broadly, so race, socioeconomic background, first-generation student. If you are a diverse candidate, there are also programs and scholarships out there for you. So I would really recommend looking into that. Certain firms will have specific fellowships or specific spots for diverse candidates. They'll have scholarships. I know that I think it's Latham in Kirkland. I could be wrong. They recently bumped their diversity scholarship up to 50 grand or 40 grand, something like that. I think the standard was 25 grand. So there is money out there. There are resources out there if you're a diverse candidate, and you should absolutely take advantage of those, because as we all know, the legal profession is not the most diverse one. So I just wanted to flag that for you. If you are a diverse candidate, you should be applying for those, keeping an eye out for those, going to info sessions for those. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I don't know if I explained this super well. I'm happy to try and answer any more about this process. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. So let's get into the vlog part of this video, which is just the leftover footage of my interview week and then some clips from New York. So I'm getting ready, and since I'm vlogging, I thought I'd vlog all of it, not just the good parts. So I'm crying, as you can tell, not because of anything specific. I think just the stress of the week has just suddenly hit all at once. Nothing specific is making me cry. It's just, I am overwhelmed. And I don't have any callbacks. And this morning I got an email that was like, you don't have any callbacks. And I was like, I know. So that's how I'm doing. All right, day 3 of EIW. Okay, I pulled myself together. Sorry, you guys. I feel like crying it out helped because I now feel so much better. I just got really stressed because I'm like almost halfway in and no callbacks yet, and all my friends have callbacks, but it's fine. All I can do is just do more interviews. I still have half my interviews to go, so 3 interviews today, which is good. I think I needed this little bit of a break. Not that 3 interviews are really a break, but I'm excited for all 3 firms today. So this is today's fit check. Top Aritzia, blazer Aritzia, pants Club Monaco. I just finished interview number 1, which I love the energy of these people. I am now in a much better mood because they were so nice. 2 of my firms today are like very litigation focused, or they only do litigation, which I'm very excited about. I would love to do litigation. I'm done interview number 2. I have 20 minutes until my next one. And a question that comes up very often, especially since I'm a transfer student, is why did you transfer? OCS, so Career Services, did tell us to prepare for this question, but everyone that's asked me it has always been like, I mean, I know why you transferred, it's Harvard, but like, why did you transfer? And so that makes my life a lot easier because it doesn't feel like I have to justify myself as much. Career Services was like, don't just say because it's Harvard, and so obviously I wouldn't say that, but it's good that they said that because now I can give like my other reasons. One more interview for the day and then I can relax. I am done for the day, actually. It is 2 and I am finished. So I'm meeting up with a friend. She's gonna come over around 4 and we're gonna go out and get dinner. There are all these new Toronto restaurants or just all these places I really want to try, so that's the plan for today. My mirror is so gross, but this is where I get ready. Okay, so my friend is here. Alyssa, hello. I've known her since high school. So we're gonna go out and get dinner and some drinks and just take my mind off all this interviewing stuff and catch up because I haven't seen her in like over a year since I went to Michigan.
That's so long. I don't know how we haven't seen each other in a year.
I know. Good morning, it is 8:30. Thought I'd start my video vlog off with a little bit of a different location. I'm on day 4, it is Thursday. Things are not looking good. I've had 15 interviews and no callbacks, so the stress is hitting. We're gonna make some coffee. We're gonna use a wine glass because that's all I have. Yeah, so I have 9 more interviews to go. I have 24 in total, so I've already done 15. So all the callbacks I'm pretty sure are gonna be remote. They're all gonna be virtual. In a normal year, callbacks are a chance for you to go check out the firm. So they fly you out, the firm will fly you out for a callback, and wherever city you're interviewing with, mostly New York, so I would have been flown out to New York. Part of this appearance should be being wine and dined by all these rich law firms in a major city like New York. Like, show me the law firm experience. That's what I'm here for. And I got my first callback, you guys. So I am a lot less stressed. It's with a firm that I'm super excited about. So I finally have 1 callback. No longer callback list and sad. Hopefully this is the start of a lot more. I have like 4 more interviews today. Wait, 5. I have 6 interviews in total. I have 5 more interviews today. So that'll be fun. And I'm gonna go hang out with a friend tonight that I haven't seen in like literally almost 2 years because I haven't seen a bunch of my Toronto friends in ages. So I'm super excited. Okay, so fit check. Shirt and blazer, both Banana Republic. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep like these sleeves in or out. I haven't figured it out. And then pants are the same old Club Monaco pants. I promise I own more than 1 pair of black pants, you guys. It's just, it's all on Zoom. So like they only ever see here up. So I didn't feel the need to bring more than 1 pair of black pants. But yeah, I'm gonna do my next interview. just finished interview number 2. I have my next one in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna freshen up my notes, kind of figure out what I'm gonna say, and get back into it. Other exciting news, I checked my email after this interview and I got another callback. It's from a firm that I interviewed with 2 days ago. So it took them 2 days to give me a callback. So I feel like I should be less stressed because clearly it's taking some firms time to get back to me. So I shouldn't be panicking so much. So you guys, 2 callbacks already. It's Thursday. I still have a couple more interviews to do today and tomorrow. So hopefully those all bode well. I have like a very long break until my next one. So I'm gonna eat some food. I just finished my 4th interview of the day. I was very pleasantly surprised by this interview. Oh my gosh. So I was very pleasantly surprised by this firm. The 2 lawyers meeting me were so nice, so friendly. We had such an engaging conversation. And sometimes the employer just, like the interviewer just seems like they're not into it. So, I did not get that feeling at all. So great marks for this firm. I'm done interviews for the day. I can take this off. I'm gonna meet my friend in a little bit. So I'm gonna freshen this up. Change to something much more comfortable. So I only have 2 more interviews tomorrow and then I'm done this week, you guys. How crazy is that? Oh my God, I only have 2 more interviews. All right, I'm gonna move on before the stress hits. And we are ready to go. This lighting is better. I was actually on my way to go see her when I got a call, and Harvard told us to let all our phone calls, all our like callback phone calls, to go to voicemail this week because like they say it's just better to not pick up and just respond afterwards. So I was planning on doing that, but I got a phone call and I was on my way to see her. So I had my AirPods in and I was listening to music, and I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have AirPods in and you get a call, they'll announce what call the number is coming from, and the Toronto area code is 647. And then the New York area code is 646. So I heard 64 something, and I thought it was a Toronto number calling me. So I picked up because I was like, maybe it's like someone from Toronto calling me, or like the restaurant's concerned reservation. And it was this person calling from New York from a law firm to give me a call back. And I like panicked because we weren't supposed to pick those up. We were supposed to let those go to voicemail. I panicked and he told me, he was like, oh, like I'm very excited. I was so glad to meet you this morning. Like I had a great talk and now I want to give you a call back. And I had no idea what I was supposed to say because we were not supposed to pick up. So that happened, but I got another call back. So my current count is at 3 and I feel a lot better with 3. I feel like my chances of getting an offer from 3 are not that bad. So hopefully I get some more tomorrow, but I feel like 3 is a good number to be at. You guys, that's it. I'm done. I just finished my last EIW interview. My last interview was 1 for a firm I like, and 2 with a partner in international arbitration. And so I feel like just so much easier to talk about because I could be like, oh my God, I love international work. And she can be like, oh my God, me too. That's me paraphrasing how the conversation went, but it was the other way around. It was more like her being like, oh, I do international work. I love doing international work. And more like me being like, oh my God, me too. Yeah, that was our interview. 20 minutes interview in 20 seconds. I'm talking really fast because I'm really excited because I am done. Like, oh my God, 24 interviews. I'm now just waiting to hear back for callbacks. I'm at 3. Okay, so I woke up from my nap to the very exciting news that I got a callback for a firm I interviewed with this morning. So we're at 4, which I'm much more happy with than 3. So I'm feeling good, you guys. I think this was a successful week.